It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. Let's show you my garden. Here's the overview. I am pretty excited because I had a lot happen in the past month. I planted a lot of things, well, I transplanted a lot of things to be more accurate, and here's how it's looking. There's still quite a few dead spots from when I killed most of it with all the rabbit poop, but looks like that rabbit poop is done burning things, so that's exciting. Over on this side of the garden, I had planted potatoes. I planted 3 rows on that ledge, and there was only one that survived. And since then, I took all of these squash plants from out of my compost pile, so they are surprises. And I'm excited to see what they're gonna be. Also, this is my rhubarb. My neighbor's rhubarb across the street got totally demolished by grasshoppers. So I was kind of excited to still have mine intact. But all she had were her little rhubarb stalks sticking out of the ground because the leaves were completely gone. Then over here, my tomato plant is ginormous. I don't feel like you can really see that from the video, but it is monstrous. It's already coming out the top and it's barely June 16th. Or July, oh my goodness, July 16th. That would be insane if it was June 16th. And this little plant I planted from a seed and it is doing surprisingly well. I didn't remember that I put a seed in the ground right there, but I did. And that's how it turned out, which is pretty cool. There's actually some little tomatoes on it already. I don't know what kind they're gonna be because I don't think I put cherry tomato seeds in the ground, but that looks like a cherry tomato. I thought that it would be something more like Roma tomato or something because that's what I normally buy from the store to eat. Then over here, all of these vines are cantaloupe because I ate a cantaloupe and I took the seeds and I just threw them in the ground. And I probably should have thinned them out, but I kind of like how crazy it looks. Then over here, I have some cilantro that's growing right there. And behind it, I actually bought a yellow squash plant because I wanted yellow squash because I thought that all of my yellow squash plants died. So there's my extra squash plant. Over here, I have some more cilantro. I really need to start eating it and like cutting it up and putting it in salsa or something because it's delicious and it's just gonna keep going crazy. Then here, I took these cucumber plants out of my straw bales because turns out straw bales are not the best growing thing in my opinion. But I think there's 3 here. I really wanted cucumbers. I wanted them to grow up this thing, so I need to train them to go up that tomato cage. Otherwise, I'll just take that tomato cage and put it on this tomato because this one is looking kind of pitiful. I bought this one from Walmart. It's a big boy and it doesn't look like a happy big boy. Behind there, I have some of my Swiss chard, which clearly needs eaten up, and some more Swiss chard. I really thought all the Swiss chard had died during the rabbit burn, the rabbit poop burn, but it looks like I still have a little bit. And most of my radishes died. Here's some of my radishes. So they didn't die on the edges. Like if you look at my first video, you'll see that there were a couple left. And well, here's one, and the grasshoppers like it apparently, but obviously I should have taken it out of the ground before now, but I feel like the seeds that I bought are just dumb. I might try them for a fall garden and see if they work out then, but for a spring garden, maybe I just planted it too late, but I'm thinking that the black radish, the Spanish, the seeds that I bought were dumb. That's what I'm gonna say. They were dumb seeds. They didn't work when I had planted them in my last garden a few years ago, I guess 2 years ago. Here is my celery that I had planted because it had some green on it, and I don't know if it's actually going to produce any actual celery or just look like a pretty green plant. And I had a volunteer corn. And over here, I have some very exciting things going on. I have this early girl tomato plant, which is loaded with tomatoes, but I'm kind of sad because there's no red ones, and they have been on here for a while. In the very middle, you can see those two. Oh, there we go. Those two have been on there for a long time, like almost a whole month, and they're still not red. Then over here, my watermelon plants are being happy. Look at that watermelon. So excited to see a watermelon. There's actually several little baby watermelons, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Well, obviously it's gonna grow, so I'm excited to eat it in like a month or two when it is ready. Then over here, I planted something and I didn't know what I planted. It kind of looks like a cantaloupe to me. It's kind of furry and fuzzy. And yeah, that's gonna be fun to see what it is, because I obviously put a seed in the ground right there and it grew. So yay. Then I had some more of those radishes going to seed up here. They're kind of pretty flowers. I kind of like them. And some more cilantro back there. And then another watermelon plant over there. I gotta see if I can walk to it. I know I saw one. There it is. Right there. There's another watermelon. This watermelon plant was happy where I put it somehow. And I had another watermelon plant over here, and the grasshoppers have demolished most of the vine, or at least the leaves of the vine, because the vine is still intact. But I'm not really counting on any watermelons from that one. My compost pile, these are all my volunteer squashes over here. It is outrageous and exciting. I love it. And surprisingly, I found 2 zucchini plants in there. So I have some zucchini, which I'll show you in a little bit. Over here, there's my cherry tomato plant, and it's a beast. I don't know, you probably can't tell, but yeah, it looks kind of ridiculous in the video, but it's a huge plant. And I have to say, this watermelon plant I took out of my straw bale because it was not very happy, and now it's much happier. So perhaps it was a good thing that it was over here. Oh, look at that. I found a goat head. Hate goat heads. Yeah, so I took that out of my straw bale because it wasn't very happy, and maybe it will produce watermelons later than my other watermelons, so that might be a good thing. Then I let my daughter buy some parsley because she really wanted it, and it's doing okay, I guess. Maybe not that great. And I had put some more cantaloupe seeds right there, and they're going okay. My pepper plant doesn't look like it's producing anything, along with that pepper plant, because I feel like they almost died. And this is supposed to be a jalapeno plant, so maybe it'll produce something when it gets hot enough. I know they like heat. All right, gonna move my camera super fast. Sorry about that. My 2 sunflowers are doing exceptional, and that one over there is just a weed. I think I'm gonna pick it along with that one over there. But over here, this is another happy sunflower plant. Yay! They're gonna be super mammoth sunflowers. And down on the bottom, there's some more cantaloupes. We love cantaloupe, so I decided why not make my garden mostly cantaloupe. This happens to be a tomato that I planted from seed somehow. I don't all the way remember doing it, but I obviously did it because I didn't have any tomatoes back here last year. So here's another one, which was kind of fun, but who knows if they'll actually produce anything. They're so tiny. And I think that's parsley, flat leaf parsley. I'm pretty sure it might be cilantro. I'm not sure, I didn't try it yet, but it happened to survive. Yay. And over here, this used to be thriving until the grasshoppers decided they wanted it, and it was my dill. Bummer. Oh, somebody's awake this morning. They're yelling across the alleyway. Weird. And a couple of corn stalks, and all my other corn is doing awesome. It's probably about 3.5 to 4 feet tall. And I wanted it here so that it could shade my house under my deck because it gets really hot. Turns out it doesn't grow fast enough. I saw somebody with some Indian corn once and they had it super tall by July, and that would have been a good shading thing. Also, next to the corn, we just got some little flowers that the kids got from VBS, and they enjoyed putting them, well, I enjoyed putting them outside. They enjoyed planting them, but I didn't want them in my house. So here they are underneath the corn for shade, but they probably need more sun than that. Anyway, the corn is doing well enough, except I don't know if it'll actually produce anything because it's so close together. And yeah, I'm just gonna buy some sunshade to hang from my deck if I want some actual shade to shade my house so it doesn't get so hot because we don't have air conditioning. Okay, over here we have cabbage. Lots of cabbage. It's doing okay in the straw bales. And then if you'll notice, I have all my hay bales together instead of separate because I had some on this bottom terrace and they were drying out so fast and it was not going well. So half of the hay bales don't have anything in them because they died. Those plants died. But over here, look at that cute little acorn squash. It's growing and it's exciting. And I have a cucumber plant, and I think this is another cucumber plant, and it looks really pitiful. And look, I have free mushrooms. Look at that. Okay. And I think this is probably another acorn squash. We'll find out because I don't remember where I planted stuff. I think I wrote it down, but I might have wrote it down wrong. Written it down wrong, I guess, is the proper grammar. And I think this is a zucchini plant because it looks like a zucchini. And another yellow squash plant with a weird big fat yellow squash. I think I saved seeds from my friend's yellow squash, and this is what it turns out to be, big yellow squash. My grapevine is doing all right, and behind the corn I have a pumpkin plant which seems to be doing all right even though it doesn't get a whole lot of sun, but it's climbing up that little fence thing I put right there. My potato plants, the ones that survived in the bucket, most of the grasshoppers got them, which was a bummer. Oh well. I'm going to hopefully do a better job of growing potatoes next year. Oh dear, look at that, my poor grapevine. Half of it looks like it's been eaten by grasshoppers. Those grasshoppers are very pesky this year, which is very obnoxious. I don't like grasshoppers, and they were crazy this year. Then you'll see all my pumpkins over here. Look at all those pumpkins. Wee pumpkins. There's so many, so they're probably not going to get that huge, but I still like them. And then, I think I planted sugar pumpkins for these white things over here. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong and if they're actually spaghetti squash, then I guess that'll be an interesting surprise. And then this one is definitely looking like a pumpkin. So that's why I'm thinking I'm wrong with my other pumpkin or squash plants. Then over here, I have some more yellow squash, which is happily growing. And here's my zucchini that I had to show you. There it is. There's my zucchini plant, and another plant is behind it, and I think maybe a third one because I see more. But yeah, there's my garden. It's actually turning out pretty okay. Yeah, even though I burned half of it. But I will say that leaves room for a fall garden. Yay! I hope you enjoyed my garden tour, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.